Well, our first date was on election day in 1992. We met through a singles ad in the local free paper. I responded to her ad. It didn't talk a lot about the physical appearance. It talked more about her values. You can have a lot of things match up, but if there isn't a really strong basis to connect with the other person, no matter what else is there, it doesn't stand the test of time. I had been diagnosed with type 2 diabetes. I was on a drug that has since been taken off the market that was causing liver damage, and so the endocrinologist I was seeing said, well, you're on this drug, let me feel around your liver to see if it's enlarged at all, because if it is, we're going to take you off of it. Unbeknownst to me, I had a tumor on my liver the size of either a small cantaloupe or a large grapefruit. The doctors had described it in both ways. From that point until they figured out that it was a neuroendocrine tumor was about a month and a half or 2 months, with almost daily tests and exams. Peggy was diagnosed with amyloidosis. I put my treatment to the side and I was Peggy's caregiver. I loved her, so you do what you have to do. Her doctor at the Mayo Clinic said, we've done just about everything we can. The only thing that's left are, on the clinical trial side of things, you may want to consider, taking some time to smell the roses. And that's what Peggy did. She made up her bucket list, and we just started ticking things off of it. With amyloidosis, the amyloid proteins lodge in the walls of the heart and make it so stiff that it can't pump effectively anymore. That's what we think happened to Peggy. I found her slumped over her desk at home. If the heart can't hold an electrical charge, you can defibrillate somebody, but you can't restart the heart sometimes. And that's what happened to her. Well, one of the things that Peggy and I talked about, she made me make a few promises to her. And I've kept or tried to keep all of them. She said, I want you to promise me that you won't be alone. The loneliness just became so unbearable. I was living in the house that we lived in together. I was sleeping in the bed that we slept in together. I started going online, started looking for, a date. But one of the issues that I had was, when do I tell people that I have cancer? And a rare cancer, and a cancer that's not curable. I've said if you want to understand what eternity is, lose someone you really love, because every day you're never, ever going to see them again.
We met online, Mitch with a dog on his lap, and I didn't pay too much attention to Mitch's looks or who he is, but the dog looked so cute. So I clicked and sent a smile, and he replied, and that's how we met.
We just started talking. The thing that immediately won me over to Michiko, it was a level of familiarity and intimacy and humor that just, bowled me over.
We met at the restaurant, and we closed the restaurant.
And we wound up talking for 5 hours. We actually talked so long that the restaurant we were in closed up for the night. And so we went to a bar restaurant where we talked for another hour and a half, and we closed that place down.
So, first date, we just talked and enjoyed the conversation.
That point on, we just started seeing a lot more of each other. The relationship just bloomed.
He told me that he had a beautiful marriage for 20-some years. So when I heard that story, I thought, wow, this is so beautiful.
When I asked her to marry me, we were in the worst restaurant we ever ate in.
We kind of, enjoy trying new ramen places, and this place, it was just terrible noodle. Then he stopped and looked at me.
I actually said to her, over the worst bowl of ramen you and I have ever had together, I'm going to ask you to marry me.
I said, what? Are you practicing for some times in the future, or are you joking? I didn't really think he was actually proposing me. So it was, so memorable moment. And I said, of course, yes.
I am very happy with the life Michiko and I have. I became alive again. To find someone again who I can give love to and get love from is just an extraordinary gift. That's something that I learned in my relationship with Peggy, is that you can never tell someone you love enough times that you love them.
Enjoy being together so much, and we want to really appreciate each moment we have. It's really important, the time we have right now, here and now. We have to remind ourselves how happy we are.